So good morning. At the Stop the Steal event in Lansing, you can see they got Black Lives Matter commingled with the Patriots, and there was quite a bit of yelling a little bit ago. So they're getting ushered out. So it's interesting that they're moving out. There's no police around. So please share this video. You know, I do these videos to try to help people see what's going on. Tell you, these kids, God bless. Okay? Thanks for bringing your kids today. They're inheriting this mess.
I know. That's what I'm here for, is them.
Me too.
Groups like this,
It's evil and righteousness has been the same forever. It's us that have been consistently inconsistent. And so it's how we fill this void. If we don't fill the void, it gets filled.
I know, with things that we don't want to fill.
Yeah. Bless you guys. Thanks for coming. I tell you, it's something to watch those kids. there's some interesting things going on right now.
Pennsylvania was just sponsored by the invited as the new president of the United States.
I don't think I got that on camera, man. Did he try to spit with his mask on? What? Did he try to spit with his mask on? I don't think I had it, man. I think I was to the left. Yeah, really. I tell you, I appreciate the people bringing their kids here, though, boy. I tell you, take some stones.
Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Okay, so they're right. That is what democracy looks like, and that is why we are not a democracy. We are not majority rules because the majority will trample on an individual rights very, very quickly. So. Just want to acknowledge the importance of the masks and how these people can operate without showing their identity. I don't think that's all an accident. It's a question of how deep do you want to go down the conspiracy hole. That's, when we operate in our emotion, which is hard not to do, it's, we lose, we can't operate on the same grounds as these people do. If it's a matter of who can yell the loudest, we're going to lose. We stand for righteousness and truth and need to operate accordingly. So.
Bye-bye. Go buy some shoes. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Work boots. Bye now. Have a good day. All lives matter. All lives matter. All lives.
So. An otherwise beautiful Saturday morning, Indian summer. So many people are watching, 4 people. It's kind of hard, folks, because they deleted my Facebook account, which is ironic because I'm usually not very liked they should actually love my Facebook account because I'm actually very hard on the demographic that I'm here with. I maintain, again, we don't want a French Revolution, we want American Restoration. And when we operate like they do, coming here on our own authority with our own self-interest, we've lost before we even taken the field. So we need to stand for righteousness and truth. We do need to engage, and I've been emotional just like that guy was. I've yelled at people. I'm just acknowledging the fact that probably wasn't the right thing to do because the focus became me instead of the message. And we don't need to yell and scream because we have righteousness and truth and history, natural law, you name it. We've had the greatest country in the history of the world because of these principles. Let's not become like the failed people that have failed repeatedly through history with devastating consequences and pain and death beyond anything we even want to think about. And that's why we're here today. Every battle matters. So here we go. I'm going to let you listen.
Back to the talk here, guys. So we need to demand a recount. I also want to let everybody know. Patriots, okay?
I can vouch for that.
So here's what I need every Patriot to do. There are avenues Michigan. You all know about Stand Up Michigan.
which is attacking one of the Patriots, Catherine Henry. So join Stand Up Michigan, fine, but understand that they have their issues too.
Email newsletter. Message to you guys, please. Go to standupmichigan.com and sign up for the free.
Thank you, Catherine Henry!
My profile picture says your obedience is the law.
That was me. Yeah, she's my friend, and I hate the fact that they're attacking her. I appreciate their fight. It's a little bit bigger than what they think it is.
Oh, yes, it is. It's a lot bigger.
It's a lot bigger.
They have only begun to skim the surface here.
I've been a Tea Party leader for 10 years. Believe me, been in the trenches, been in those trenches. I could have told them everything that they've experienced has happened before it happened, but they aren't asking any questions.
I will. I want to get on the horn with you guys, Tea Party. I just did the other day.
Well, the Tea Party right now has largely delegated their fight to Trump. And I understand because we've put a lot of people into office that have failed and betrayed us. And I can understand being attracted by a fighter, perceived fighter, whatever. But, no matter what happens, things cycle, right? It has always cycled. And, yes, I do agree. I'm just saying right now, there isn't really a huge Tea Party movement per se. You're looking at it right now. This is what it's morphed into.
This is a good thing.
You know, it is. It is.
We see a couple of black guys on TV. Will Johnson is one. And boy, he is right on the money.
Right.
I mean, and then there's another guy, Tatum. And he's an officer.
Okay.
Right on the money.
Cool. Thank you, Catherine Henry. She was actually the vice president of our Tea Party for a while. I helped her run for office. I was in there on April 30th, standing next to her, helping her get the message out. She is fighting the true fight. She is true grassroots. I mean, she is true grassroots. I don't have a problem with people with money and influence being involved with the process. Lord knows they have individual rights too, right? But when there is true grassroots, and she is actually one. My friend is also Angela Regas, who was cutting hair here in May and got a disorderly conduct as the state police officers disobeyed their oath and gave her, that charge. And they're actually attacking her right now to go after her beautician license for exercising her First Amendment rights.
That's all the power they got. Because they licensed through Laura, the state licensing. That's all the power they've got.
And it's a big power.
Yeah, it's true.
But we have an ultimate power, and that our rights come from our Creator, and our Creator is far bigger than Laura or anybody else. It's just a matter of we got to stand on that stuff. And we can't do that if we're acting like them, like the Black Lives Matter. We can't do it. We've lost the fight the minute we enter the field. So
We saw Catherine Henry. We were up, what was that? Lansing, Michigan. She was up there at the Blessing of the Guns. And we saw her, she's Michigan's attorney. Frankly, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have hardly any voice, you guys. And then to understand that the whole Michigan GOP wrote that 60-32 law, which she did a video about, and the whole Michigan GOP empowered Gretchen Whitmer to do the very things we've been trying to get her to stop. You guys, it's like, I've been saying it takes one to impeach her, and they won't do it. And because they didn't fight Whitmer in, say, June, July, or whatever, because they didn't do it, now the country hangs in the balance. They have allowed the bully to keep bullying, and now Whitmer yesterday is demanding that they legislate a mask mandate. And because they haven't fought her, they act like if they don't fight her, she'll go away. And that's not how bullies work. This is human nature, right? We don't battle against flesh and blood, but powers and principalities. And believe me, the powers and principalities are around us right now. And they acknowledge righteousness and truth.
Right up there. They're hearing us.
Absolutely. People understand that there's demons around, but they forget only 1/3 of the angels were shot out of heaven, right?
2/3 of the smart ones are still there,
Yeah.
and they're activated. They're like, we got live ones on the ground.
I know.
You know, they know what's going on.
Oh, there's so many slithering between our legs right now. It's
David and Goliath,
I know.
Gideon's army, our American.
yes.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
All right, so my Facebook account was deleted a week ago. I had about 5,000 friends, and so I'm trying to rebuild
I've
my.
had all my things deleted. 2A, I was with the 2A group, Michigan 2A.
Yeah.
I said, what happened? Found out it's been deleted.
Yeah. So if you would share this video, help me, because obviously my ability to speak has been attacked, and I don't have the presence on Facebook that I had before. And that was my primary outlet. So if you could help share this video.
What happened is that the right is never aggressive. It's way too passive.
That smells and stinks of corruption, doesn't it? I want to announce a very special patriot here today. We have the granddaughter of none other than Paul Revere. Come address the crowd. We got a patriot here, folks.
You may want things, but you can't have everything you want.
This is the great-granddaughter of
Otherwise,
Paul
you're going to
Revere.
get
After she's done, I'm going to give that
to do everything you want.
But here is the great-granddaughter of Paul Revere. Let's give her a cheer.
Four more years at least. What's that supposed to mean? I thought when he said we were going to have a great patriot come, I thought he was going to introduce Catherine Henry. Joking. It's Kevin Skinner. Not exactly Catherine's buddy lately.
The colonial, the tyranny was right on the door. I can tell you, tyranny is knocking on our door. And we must push it back. Our ground for our great president that the Lord put in this office for a
We put him in the office with the rights that God gave us.
Hey, your flag is upside down.
new patriots coming.
Turn your flag around.
Get out here, please get closer.
Flag is upside down.
BLM got out here before everybody arrived. They got out here before 12. Look how many patriots are here now, everybody. Okay, I just got a really good question, everybody, that we need to be asking. Where is our state representatives right now? Where are they, guys? I can tell you right now, I know the Oversight Committee, which is led by Steve Johnson, a great Patriot representative, they are meeting currently to talk about they are opening an investigation on this fraud. I can tell you that right now. They are. But is that enough? No. We demand a recount. I want to tell you what the president, this comes from the top, straight from our commander-in-chief. The president is asking for Michigan volunteers, particularly veterans, particularly retired police officers, particularly people that work in service-related positions, officers, people that are public servants, he wants you to step up because we are going to demand a recount. What is happening this coming week is that Gretchen is going to try to certify all these results, these fraudulent results, through our local committees. This is why the president wants everyone to get on board with being a volunteer. Okay, I have a phone number. If you want to get involved in this, just 1 second. Everybody get out your phones and be ready to take this number down. Just 1 moment, let me pull it up. No, that's not it. Okay, guys. So, Katie Shaheen. She's the Director of Operations at the Michigan GOP. She has asked patriots to volunteer if you are able to attend committee meetings. Look, guys, this is going to be happening all over the state in our local committee meetings. So we need patriots stepping up at every committee meeting. In every district, guys, in every single district and precinct all around the state, we need Patriot volunteers to go to these meetings. Do not let them steal this by certifying these results. So here's what you do. Take this name and number down. Katie Shaheen, that's S-H-A-H-E-E-N. She can be reached at 517-899. 5454. Again, that is Katie Shaheen, the Director of Operations for the Michigan GOP. You can reach her at 517-899-5454. Why are you contacting her? Because you want to volunteer to attend these committee meetings and protest and stop these results from being certified until we have a recount. What do we want? Recount. What do we want? Recount. What do we want? Recount. And we're going to get it. We are going to get a recount. Listen, guys, it doesn't matter how many votes Trump was ahead Tuesday night. He could have been 2 million votes ahead, and they would have had 2 million ballots, and they would have had 2,100,000 ballots to dump. They always planned to steal this. It wasn't ballots that were found. It was ballots that they had ready to dump on us. Do not accept anything otherwise. That is what happened to us, guys. That is 100% what happened, and we are not going to accept it.
I mean, it's one of the possibilities. It's reason to believe that it is, but we got to be careful what we say. We need to seek truth.
We are not up against socialism. Socialism is the fake party that they're using to get a hold on America. Everybody asks, how could COVID be a global conspiracy? Because the globalists are behind it. That's why. And the globalists have hijacked our Democrat Party. They are no longer Democrats.
It would have been nice if Trump wouldn't have empowered the globalists for 4 months with his microphone. Begged him not to.
And some of the Republicans, as we call them rhinos, are globalists too.
60-32.
Some of the Republican rhinos are globalists.
60-32.
BLM's got people surrounded over there. Where? Over there.
Oh, there's some.
Can we get some patriots dispatched to the sidewalk, please? In a hurry, patriots.
All right, so here comes French Revolution.
We'll go over there and see what's going on.
We will reconvene in about 15 minutes, everybody. We will reconvene.
This is,
Let's hold this ground. Do not let Antifa take this square from us.
should have had some people set up, not send the whole mob. Your Father, give these people protection. Father, intervene. Let peace prevail. Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Woo! Thank you! Thank you.
Hey, everybody, looks like we got Patriots convening over there to de-escalate that situation.
Yeah, that's not going to, unleashing the mob does not de-escalate. Just so people understand mob mentality, unleashing the mob does not de-escalate. And we don't understand that mob rule is not the way we should operate. Let's see what's going on. So BLM was yelling, "This is what democracy looks like." And they're right. That is what democracy looks like. That is why... Oh, no, that's fine. No, it's apparently they are. There are no police around. None. This isn't good, folks. This is not good. So, again, if you've been listening to me, I keep saying if we act like them, we've lost before we've even entered the fight. It doesn't mean that we should not engage. But if it's a matter of yelling louder, we're done. So, again, I want American Restoration, not French Revolution. We're looking at French Revolution right now. You don't unleash the mob. What you do is you have security set up to watch what's going on, and you have select people that are equipped that you know can handle themselves in this environment. Instead of, there's some passionate people in the liberty movement, and I don't discredit their passion. I do question their ability to actually navigate these circumstances. If you're a believer, please pray. Pray right now for the safety.
4 more years! 4 more years! Trump people, hey!
Oh, Deanie, there's face masks. They're all on the status. Everybody else understands what this is. Good job, Aaron. Yeah, so 10 years of Tea Party, there's always been a counter-protest. There's always been a counter-protest. Having them show up and get attention, trying to stop that, trying to stop these guys from getting attention is like trying to stop COVID, especially with placebo mask. So if you're going to parallel this to COVID, the placebo mask would be the equivalent of us yelling and screaming louder than them. That's how this thing works. So these people will get attention. Just understand that. It is our message that gives us strength. It is not yelling louder. And when we act like them, we take away from the message. I hope this is making sense to people. I've been saying it for years. This type of situation makes it very applicable. So Adam just did a great job.
For anger, you all. 5,500 votes in Atron County. We demand a recount process. This is unacceptable.
We're the party of joy,
Thank
the
you.
party of peace, the party of love.
Amen.
Music. If you notice, they cannot sing. They're
are not anarchists. We want
Our power is in music, in culture, in truth, in beauty, and goodness. That's the cornerstones of Western civilization, and we will never let our country become a socialist, communist country. So let's hear some people singing together all over here. Let's sing it.
Come on, my MAGA people! We're gonna get this rally started! Come on!
Great job, buddy. Great job. You see what happened? Great job, man.
I've seen here today. What great enthusiasm. So they hear our songs and you back down every time. Every time. You guys learn your songs. Learn the songs of our country, of our culture. My country, 'tis of thee. God bless America. God bless the USA. And we're going to have new songs coming to give patriotic education to all our youth, all our people. Look at, when we sing, they retreat. Let's do it again, even louder. Proud to be an American. Let's go. And I'm proud to be an American. Even louder.
All right, just want to take this moment to acknowledge how great it is to be alive today when our country needs us more than ever. I said that earlier today, but it's worth repeating. During our founding era, most people understood and acknowledged the principles of God and creation and respected it. That's not the case today. So while we enter into the same arena that our founders entered into, we aren't sitting here with a culture that's prepared for the battle. But that can change. And that can change actually pretty rapidly because of examples like what just happened over there. Please, folks, don't miss what happened. God bless Adam Hinkle for doing what he did. He had a megaphone and he was prepared because you aren't going to yell over those people by your own voice. It ain't going to happen. So what we witnessed, Kevin Skinner unleashing the mob over to the mob and not fighting the fight like it needs to be fought. And then we saw Adam Hinkle stepping in and actually speaking over it and speaking righteousness into the situation. What an awesome thing we just witnessed, folks. What a great, if you want to look at this as an experiment, they say America is a great experiment. Well, the experiment still continues. This particular experiment goes beyond what our founders thought because Franklin said, we're giving you a republic if you can keep it. Well, we lost it in 2010 with Obamacare and letting them pass that legislation that really wasn't lawful legislation. And then it was reaffirmed to be lawful by a corrupt Supreme Court. It is what it is. It's not relative to the opinions of a man. It's an opinion of natural law, and you can't steal from people to give to other people. The 10 Commandments, thou shalt not steal, something. And there, you shall not kill. There's abortion in the bill, and we got it. So, point is the great experiment was kind of over in 2010, where this is a new experiment. This is, can liberty be restored that was lost? Because that our founders didn't say. Our founders said liberty lost can never be regained. So I would say based on man, I agree 1,000%, but this is not up to, the part that it is up to man is will we step in and will we yield to righteousness and truth? God can do it. Our own founding of this country was based on overcoming tyranny. So we're just overcoming tyranny yet again. So in our own history, we did things that we should not have been able to do. So I'm going to get closer so we can hear, okay? Just weaseling my way up. Oh, go ahead.
affidavits, and I want to tell you about it.
You're good.
On the primary, August 4th and August 5th, I was there 22 hours. I was the only Republican challenger to stay there for the entire 22 hours. And here is the single most important piece of information that I've been testified to, and it's been reported nationwide. At 2 a.m. on August 5th, I heard the top two people that were running the entire show down there at Noble Hall, we're talking about 600 to 700 workers at that time, tell everyone twice, not once, but twice over the PA system. They said, and I quote, "Stop what you're doing, open every ballot, put it through the tabulator, and process them." Well, what that meant was they stopped checking all the names, all the signatures, all of the other things they're supposed to be checking. I estimate in the primary that they put through 10 to 20,000 ballots with no checking at all.
Sorry.
I filed that legal affidavit with the Board of Canvassers. It took a couple of weeks before it was picked up on mainstream media, but it was on Breitbart. And you can go Google the name Bob Bushwood and Breitbart, you'll find that interview.
Thanks.
And that interview went nationwide. It was retweeted by President Trump on approximately August 24th. Now fast forward to November 4th, the day after the election. We've all heard reports of tens of thousands of ballots coming in on the evening of the 3rd, the morning of the 4th. And I know that's true. I don't know the exact number. Hopefully someday we'll figure out what that number was. But it was in tens of thousands. Between 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. on November 4th, I observed the processing of the ballots. One thing became apparently and evidently clear to me. None of the ballots that were being processed appeared in the electronic poll book. None of the names, they were on what's called the supplemental sheet, which supposedly is brand new voters, people that just registered to vote. Now I'm challenging it because there is no way that you can process 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people in one day.
It's self-evident.
It's now 12:13. About 45 minutes ago, I was at an attorney's office, Professor William Wagner, some of you may know him. I just signed and got notarized an affidavit attesting to what's going on here. We're looking at a real attempt to steal this election, but we're not going to let it happen. I expect them to file this lawsuit electronically today. So God bless you, and keep the fight on, and know that we're going to win this. I have reasons it's going to take a lot of weeks, and we're going to go through a lot of nastiness, but we're going to win this in the end. God will prevail. God will. If there's two things that I can leave with you is, number one, don't lose faith, and number two, keep praying. Because the only way to win is with God's help. God bless you.
Number 3, get off the sofa.
No more years of
Always fascinating.
But Rome, we were in Detroit yesterday, and Rome was arrested for being there where we were protesting, but he is out. He is out and he is free. So let's hear it for the Trump Unity Bridge in Rome. You will notice that we have a group of devout Catholics in the middle of our session here who are praying over this right now. I would like to invite everyone, Catholics, Protestants, everyone, let's say the Lord's Prayer together. The man that's holding the cross, can you lift it up if you guys are going to join us in the Lord's Prayer together? Okay, everyone, follow my lead. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer to give us peace. Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
thank you, Catholics, for praying over this event right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, next order of business. We have a strategy. We have a strategy, Patriots. We know that there's fraud going on. We know that there's fraud. First part of this strategy is we need boots on the ground right here every day. I will be here. If I'm the only Patriot standing, or if I'm in a crowd of 1,000 of you like this, I will be here every day on these steps demanding a recount. And I count on you, Patriots.
So that's on everybody.
I know people have to work. I know people have families. I know people have kids.
If you can be here, be here.
We are at the verge of losing our whole country to the globalists. And this is so important. So I appeal to you now. Take your vacation.
Already
Take your
did.
sick days if you have to.
Been doing all summer, fighting with Catherine Henry. Catherine Henry, Catherine Henry. I'd say it a few times.
Never takes action unless they see that the people demand it. So we have to be here on these steps 12 p.m. daily. I'm talking Sundays, I'm talking Saturdays, I'm talking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I will be here every single day. I want to say one thing about yesterday in Detroit. Black voters are
Please share this, folks.
They are so disenfranchised. They feel like their vote was stolen from them.
Sorry.
I stood shoulder to shoulder with several black voters yesterday that were there for Trump to support our great president, and they are angry that what happened in Detroit stole their voice when it mattered the most. We cannot let that happen to them. We can't let that happen. President Trump got the most minority community support out of any Republican in history.
Well, maybe Lincoln. Just saying.
No president has ever pulled together the people the way he did.
Maybe Lincoln.
All this media is how he's a racist and how he's hateful and he's a bigot. But that's not true, and we know that, don't we?
That's right.
It's nothing but lies. So listen, the media called it for Biden today. Big whoop, guys. Big whoop. We knew they were going to do that. The media is the false prophet of Revelation 13.
Does that include Fox News? Just wondering.
Exposing them right now. God is with us. Okay, so that's part one of our strategy, everybody, is be here every day at noon if you are able to. I know some of you will not be able to make it every day. You don't have to feel guilty about that. But please be here every day that you can be here at 12 p.m. so that we can demand our legislature not only investigates, but demands a recount and takes any drastic measure that they can to stop government from going forward with certifying these results. The gates of hell will not prevail, and a house divided against itself shall not stand.
Thank you, Catherine Henry.
Follow Dana Coverstone. If you've not heard of Pastor Dana Coverstone from Kentucky, go and follow him on YouTube. The Lord gave him prophetic dreams about what's happening in America right now, and he has exposed, the Lord has exposed through Dana what is happening. I promise you, you will find peace if you watch this video. I promise you. Okay, so part one of our strategy is being you at noon. Part two is we demand a recount. You guys, okay? I can't do this work for you. You have to find on the government website your state representative for your district. You need to find your state representative and your state senator, and every single day, and I mean every single day, you need to call and email them demanding that a recount happen. Can I get an amen? The president has also asked for Patriot volunteers to help in the recount and to help go to committee meetings. There are going to be committee meetings at every one of our precincts coming up as early as this coming week. What this means is Gretchen and the globalists, they're trying to certify these results. They're trying to take their claws in as deep as they can so that it's impossible for us to get this overturned. So we have to show up at these meetings. We cannot let them certify these results. We have to be there. We have to show up. We have to challenge it. We cannot let them certify these results. Why is that? It's not because we just lost and we're sore about it. And they know that. We know. Lock her up. 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 Conservative patriots are not violent people. We are peaceful.
We have a question. We have a question.
We're not here because we're sore losers, are we?
Question! Got a question here. Got a question.
Precincts, yes. I have a phone number for every patriot to take down if you want to volunteer to be a part of these meetings, okay? Everybody bust out your phone right now. Get ready to store this number in your phone, okay? Yes, same one as before. If you've already got it, there's a lot of patriots. I'm looking from up here. There's a lot of patriots that just joined us. So if you're just joining us, you need to take this number, and here's why. This is Katie Shaheen, the Director of Operations for the Michigan GOP. Katie is asking for patriots, veterans, retired police officers, active duty officers, anyone who has served with integrity in a public position or in our military to step up and help our president to prove this fraud and to challenge these certifications and these results. Take this name down, everyone. I want to see your phones out. Katie Shaheen. Here is her number. This is for Katie Shaheen. 517 899 5454. Again, 517 899 5454. Take that number in your phone. If you want to volunteer to be someone that challenges the certification of these results, then you need to contact her and send her your full name, your cell phone number, the county you live in, and someone will get a hold of you so that you can volunteer. So one more time, you need to contact Katie Shaheen. This is the Director of Operations for the Michigan GOP. Her phone number is 517-899-5454. That's 517-899-5454. Patriots, Antifa looks like they're coming back for round 2 of protests, but listen everybody, here's what I want you to do. Do not let them get close to our Catholics there. Let's surround our Catholics. Let's not get violent. Do not get violent.
Amen.
Pray, but form a barrier, please. We hold the steps today. America holds the steps today. This is our city. This is our nation, Americans. So we're gonna hold fast. Hold the line. Do not get violent. Do not get violent.
Hi, how you doing? Good to see you.
Cheryl,
Hi, Cheryl. Yeah. Good, good,
still
good.
here today?
She is not. Watching the grandkids.
So has Antifa been here once already?
Yes. They were up here when I got here. They actually left. Yeah, they actually left. I'm surprised that they did because there's no police anywhere.
That's surprising too.
Yeah. Isn't it funny we talk on Facebook all the time, but to talk in person? Yeah. We got the same dress code memo, huh? So earlier when they were here, he actually told them to go down there and unleash the mob on them. I'm like, no, that's not what you do. Yeah, so they're handling this a little bit better. But it was still a great example because Adam Hinkle had a megaphone and he could actually speak and speak into that and broke it up. It was a great example of the way we're supposed to be versus not be. All right there, really quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know much about it.
Oh, Kevin Skinner?
That's Kevin Skinner. Okay. Oh, I thought that was Brandon.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I know Kevin a little bit.
He's new to the fight, and they make the same mistakes repeatedly. Right now, he's got the ear, or some legislators have his ear, and it's fine. But like he put out this big video condemning Catherine for her response against a 6'8".
They disagree with it.
It's just like so out of bounds. Exactly. And he's talking about a house divided shall not stand.
Right.
Reach out to her then.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I digress. It's the same thing over and over again.
Patrick Colbeck speaking at all today?
Not that I know of.
Remind you of a few things. The patriots of America decide elections, not the media. I don't give a rat's ass if CNN called the election. Decide elections. Decide Those of you in the back, I know you can't hear a word I'm saying, so just go like this.
So this guy voted for Hillary in 16.
Translate. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to give up. We're not going to stop. And let's be clear about something. This has nothing to do with being a sore loser. We didn't lose. And if we do, we do. If every ballot comes out fair, we won. 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 If they count every ballot fairly, if we have a free and fair election, which shows us that Joe Biden is the winner, not gonna happen. If that were the case, we will accept it. We're not like the left. This isn't about going into the twilight zone and making up stories about Russian collusion, delusion, and Ukraine, impeach. This is about a desire for free and fair elections. This affects all of us. It affects them too. If they can steal an election today, and maybe if you're somebody who supports Joe Biden for whatever reason, maybe it happens to benefit you today. But what happens in 4 years when it doesn't benefit you?
Rule of law.
All of the Democrats who saw this happen to Bernie Sanders over and over again. You guys know this happened. They steal elections. This isn't the first time. I do not want to hear a single word. Listen, I'm going to be really blunt right now. This isn't about us. It's not about you. This is about President Trump. This is about our country. He needs us right now.
It is actually about us. Disagree with that.
USA! 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 office. We have the biggest fighter we've of my MAGA family. I love each and every one of you. Even the ones who say, you know, I love Trump, but I'm just not so sure about his tweeting. I just wish sometimes he didn't have such an ego. Get down on your knees right now and start thanking Jesus for Donald Trump's ego.
Just a reminder, Exodus 18:21 says what kind of people we're supposed to elect.
Past the finish line in this case, Donald Trump's ego is not going to allow him to say, well, I guess I'll just quit. This man is going to quit. We're going to win this thing. We're going to win it fair and square. Everything is on the line right now. Everything. We are a heartbeat away from a Biden-Harris administration.
Just the Harris administration.
This means that the fundamental shape of our nation will change entirely. This means that we will no longer have secure borders. This means that we will no longer exist in a capitalist society which lifts people out of poverty and empowers individuals. This means that we will for 4 years be existing in a victim state where people are dependent on the government and the government controls every aspect of our lives and you can forget about your Never in my gay life did I think that I was going to go out and buy a whole arsenal full of guns. I even marched in a gay pride parade march years ago wearing a shirt that said Days Against Guns. I like the t-shirt. The second I get back to my home, I am buying my first gun.
You missed the prior 10 years, I guess, but that's okay.
Amazing leadership of this amazing president. We found unity together as a family. We see now demographics that never would have voted Republican before. The black community, the Hispanic community, the Jewish community, the LGBT community, these numbers are doubling for President Donald Trump. They can never undo that. It can never be taken away. They can never steal our people. They can never steal our hearts. They can never steal our fire and our passion that has been ignited in these past 4 years. They can't undo it. It's here to stay. The silent majority has become unsilent. The election was only a few days ago. And I know that it's very easy to feel passionate a few days later when you're still angry, when it's still wrong.
Been doing this for over 10 years, man.
When your passion and your anger is so inflamed, don't let this fire die. I promise me right now, swear to me, you will not let this fire die. We will see this together to the end through the finish line together.
I forgot my aluminum hat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not over, and it's not going to be over for a long, long time. Now, I want everybody, we're live streaming here. We have a team of influencers across the country who are also retweeting all of these live streams so we can get as many eyes on these rallies as possible. Donald Trump needs us now. I want all of us to look into this camera right here and tell Donald Trump, we love you! 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 We love you!
So it's at this point that I remind people about idolatry. No harm.
We won't stop! 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 And the one thing I want you to tell President Donald Trump right now is, MAGA's got your back! MAGA's got your back! MAGA's got your back! MAGA's got your back!
Man, I feel like I'm in 1984.
MAGA's got your back! MAGA's got your back! MAGA's got your back! MAGA's got your back! All right. Just about made myself cry with that one. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for being such an incredible, powerful MAGA family. I'm not done yet. I'm not going anywhere, but I am going to turn over the microphone, save my voice a little bit. I'll come back out in a little bit. We brought a couple of my amazing friends and amazing speakers with me. Shamika Michelle is here. Tracy Harlow is here. I'm going to turn the megaphone over to Shamika Michelle. I've told you guys many, many times, hell has no fury like a gay man scored by the Democrat Party. But Shamika's going to tell you hell has no fury like a black woman pissed the fuck off.
Yeah, so I come in a different authority. I'm just saying. Amen. Battery's dying. I'm trying to get my auxiliary battery hooked up. This is Lansing, Michigan. Well, they hate Donald Trump because he reflects the American people who get their rights from God and acknowledge that. That's why they hate Donald Trump.
Every lie and every attack and every smear that they have used against the president, they have used on every single one of us. Amen. And they will never understand the bond that him and his supporters
Washington Post right there.
Because for many of us, when we were losing friends, when we were losing family, when we were being called
It's Washington Post.
murderers, for many of us, he was the only one who had our back. He took up the cause of the downtrodden.
For the record, my Savior is Jesus Christ.
Is in prison for nonviolent offenses under the Joe Biden crime laws. President Trump gave a second chance. When all the votes are counted, this election is going to have a second chance.
Praying for the rule of law, the sanctity of the vote.
I'm not going to stand here and lie to you guys. I've been really depressed and miserable and sad this
I'm not.
because how can we have any trust in our electoral process? It feels like we have traveled the entire country for months now telling people to go out and vote and run for office. If this is our process, it feels like what point is there to it? Which is why we demand transparency. Because after this election, I have nothing but questions. Has it ever once happened in an election that all the states simultaneously decided to just stop counting? And if they were so tired, at 9 o'clock at night, they're just, they just narcolepsy with Sleepy Joe. How come there's flies of chicken to find votes this 4 in the morning? Why are there videos of poll workers throwing out ballots and marking ballots? Where he's 30 points ahead has not been called for Trump. I never thought I'd live to see the day where Florida is a functional state. And these motherfuckers can call us every name they want, but what matters is we demand transparency. They'll call you every name, they'll call
Yeah, Bob, it's really important how we fight this fight.
Why do they all keep coming true?
Because I'm old enough to remember when it was a conspiracy theory to think that Iraq didn't have weapons of mass destruction. And it was a conspiracy theory that the Democratic Party rigged their primary against Bernie Sanders. And it was a conspiracy theory that Epstein didn't kill himself.
And it's a conspiracy that a virus is going to kill 2.2 million people.
Because all our entire lives we have been nothing but lied to by our government, by our media, by every institution in this country. And we are all standing here today to say, fuck that.
That was when we were in Salt and Light, that boy gets killed.
USA! 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 USA!
Now, let me tell you guys something.
So there's no police here.
Until the bitter end, until
BLM circling around. It's an interesting day here for sure. So I just wanted to mention that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to share. Appreciate it.
Now, I don't know if you guys remember this. This has sort of been forgotten by history, but you all remember the 2000 election. Al Gore in 2000 did not want a recount of Florida. He asked for a recount of the 5 most liberal counties in Florida. That's not what we're asking. We are simply asking for an independent investigation and transparency. Every vote, every state.
Legal votes! 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 Legal votes!
And I really want you guys to remember, especially if you're any sort of minority in this country, the left and the Democratic Party act like you're their fucking property. They own you. And no matter what happens, regardless of any outcome, that has changed forever. I mean, you know, they like to vote for their own people. It makes sense. Now, before I go, I just really want to say, I am so freaking proud of you guys standing here and making your voice heard and standing up. That is what we need. The days of us sitting at home and watching the left take over this country are over. And to the media, notice how there are no riots happening right now. Not going our way. Notice how nobody is being beaten by Trump supporters in this country.
We don't do that.
And while that's obviously not how we roll with riots and violence, in a peaceful way, we, quite frankly, need a little more leftists in us. Because they get what they want.
I disagree.
If they affected the left, they would
We don't win by acting like them.
country burning buildings down. They'd have every highway shut down. They'd have their talking points on every channel. They'd have politicians suckling their toes. So we need to stand up every bit as much the numbers that they do.
Okay, yeah, so we should be acting. I agree with that.
Right now, I really want to say, get your ass out here. We are never going back to sitting quietly. We are fighters. We are standing up. We are standing tall and proud. Start fighting!
Start fighting! Start fighting! Start fighting! Start fighting! Start fighting! Start fighting!
We will not quit. We will not give up. I love you guys. We are a family, and that will never change. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Will Johnson here today. Will is an amazing guy. He's going to come out and speak. But I just wanted to say something really quickly along the lines of what Mikey was saying. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we're down. We are. We're down. We can admit that. This is a difficult time for us. However, we have an opportunity right now. We have an opportunity to project ourselves with class and dignity and grace and poise and to be an example of what it means to be a decent, good, upstanding American.
Amen. Agree with that, bud. Agree.
I encourage all of us to continue behaving with class and dignity and grace because they are going to lose. And when they lose, they're going to go out and start smashing windows and burning buildings and beating people and killing people. And the difference between us and them will then be crystal clear.
Amen.
So keep it cool, keep it classy. We got this, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God's got this, but yeah. Yeah, so this guy is good. Please feel free to share this video. This speech is going to be worth the price of admission. This guy's good.
This is what I like to see. People that love this country, they will show up. You too are so sick and tired of these demon grants trying to destroy our country.
Amen.
They let President Trump do so much crap over the past 4 years, and they expect us to just take it and roll over.
Hell yeah!
They've been doing a lot longer than that.
Between us and the soul, a whole total takedown of our country. What are we going to do?
Fight!
Fight! Think about this. Think about this. President Trump has billions of dollars to fight for us. President Trump has done his part.
Yes, he has! Now it's our turn!
Single American that loves this country. What are you going to do? Are we going to fight for Trump? Are we going to give up?
As long as it's real.
This is the second Civil War.
Amen, amen, Amber. I agree 100%.
We don't want this to be done right, to go through the court system. Let's just pray that the court does the right thing by the American people.
It does the right thing by the rule of law. The rule of law is what matters.
This is our last chance, people, to keep our freedom.
Well, I disagree with that.
There's no other path. This is the last chance. This is it. The Democrats are trying to steal and tear down the country based on China's tactics.
We are under attack.
I became a Trump supporter when he announced that he was running for president. I supported Trump ever since then. And I'm going to unite America first. If we don't unite this country right now, starting today, we are done. And I don't know about you. I'm not going to give up because I love this country, respect our president, and love Jesus Christ. We cannot displace it. And give them any opportunity to think that we're going to say this is the new norm. You remember, the winner gets to write the history. Think about what I'm telling you here. If they steal this from us, they're going to turn this country into a socialist, communist country, and then they're going to rewrite history. When slavery was here, it was Democrats that were demonizing black people. That's right. The year 2020 is the Democrats demonizing white people. Common denominator with their common core.
Democrats suck!
So we can't give up on Trump. Johnson, unite America first.
Unite America first! 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 Unite America first!
Dave, this is Lansing, Michigan. Sorry I didn't get a chance to check in before I started the stream. I'm at the Capitol building in Lansing, Michigan.
I gotta be honest. My team and I were flying around the country for 4 months doing what we were calling Walk Away Rescue America rallies, getting as many people to walk away from the left as possible. And I budgeted all of my energy on the assumption that I would get to go to sleep on November 4th. I On November 4th, I got a phone call, and there is a group of conservative influencers who are working together to do these rallies in all the states from coast to coast to keep the fire of this message alive.
I just tried to reply Lansing, Michigan, and my account's being blocked. I might have already lost this account.
They had nobody to lead Michigan. I said I will be there tonight.
Yeah, Dave, please do this. I just tried to respond to your message, and Facebook told me my account is being restricted. My Facebook account was blocked about a week ago.
I'm in this for the long haul. I'm not giving up. Everything is riding on this. Nothing in my life is more important than this right now. So before I wrap up today, and again, I'm not going to the airport. So before I wrap up today, I want to hear you one more time tell me, we won't stop.
We won't stop! 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 We won't stop!
Okay, you guys, stop!
Dave, thank you for helping me spread this.
At this point, we are not done, Michiganders. We are not done today, okay?
We have just begun.
What's going to happen now is I am going to manage a rotation of speakers that are going to be coming up. If you have a story of proven fraud, if you have a story of being somebody that came from a foreign country and dealt with communism, you need to come up and talk to me and get my rotation, okay? But right now, I have a young man that you want to hear from. His name is Josiah Lippincott.
This ought to be really good.
Student at Hillsdale College. Please welcome Josiah.
This ought to be really good.
We will defend our way of life. America is my country. It was the land of my father, and of my father's father, of his father. For all generations, this has been my country. And I will defend it. Our institutions, our media, they have lied to us every day for the last 4 years. They lied about the coronavirus.
So did the Republicans.
They lied about our wars in the Middle East. The truth will prevail.
USA! 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 USA!
This is not over. It is not over. They can do what they will do, but we also will stay and defend our way of life. We will defend our Constitution. We will defend our republic. I am not giving up, and neither should you. They can attempt to delegitimize President Trump. delegitimize the American people. But they cannot take away our fundamental dedication to our way of life, to the Constitution, and to the Republic. We will continue to fight. And that's why I would encourage you today. This is not over. Do not let it end. Do not let this energy go away. Contact your representatives. Contact those in power and make clear to them that we will continue to fight. We will continue to fight for President Trump. We will continue to fight for America first. We will continue to fight for our country. May God bless all of you. And may God bless the United States of America.
Thanks, Josiah. All it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. I see a lot of good men and women out here, and I know that there's a lot of my fellow brothers and sisters, the vets, that have taken that oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We are facing a domestic threat against our Constitution right now, right here. I want to know, are you going to stand by and do nothing? No! I said, are you going to stand by and do nothing? No! Then I want you to get with all of your friends and stay on social media as much as you can. Look up, volunteer. Women for America First, when they saw that this was happening, started a Facebook page, Stop the Steal. I can't hear you. In 12 hours, they had 650,000 followers. And Facebook took it down.
It's like they took my account down.
Because they're funded by China.
That's right. Surrender to big tech.
The new website, and it's a website this time, is stolenelection.us. You can get your information there.
Repeat it.
Not only have we started this rally here today, but there are 49 other rallies and democracy dies in the darkness.
That's right.
Dark to light. And I say at 4 a.m., when 138,339 votes all come in for one candidate, that's where democracy dies.
Yes.
I'm not going to allow this to happen, and neither should you.
That's right. That's right.
If you see corruption reporting, call the FBI. Let me know. I have contacts with the campaign legal, so please let me know. There was a gentleman earlier who had that. Please, one other thing. Keep fighting. Volunteer to be a poll watcher. The corruption is happening on the night shift. Every person I talk to is saying night shift. That in the computers. Dominion Corporation. Dominion voting system. And their program. Hammer.
Stop the steal. Stop the steal.
That should be hammer and sickle.
Yeah.
You know it. It was not a glitch. Those programs did exactly what the programmers intended it to do. It was just caught by patriots like yourself. We need a full recount of every valid They need to clear the voter rolls of the 196
are still requesting ballots. That's not a lot.
Recount fraud votes. Recounts nothing.
The ones in Pennsylvania are only 170. You guys get out to them.
It's the water.
This is going to be a fight. And as John Paul Jones said, it's true in 1799, it's true today. I have not yet begun to fight. So thank you. Next week, Saturday, at the United States Capitol, this time, we're starting at Freedom Plaza. We have a group of people heading up to the Supreme Court, and maybe, if we get a permit, to the Capitol. But if we don't, we'll be at the Supreme Court, and anybody that you know who can attend, we will love to have you there. So all I need to say is, God bless America. Stop the steal.
Stop the steal! 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 Legal votes! Legal votes! Legal votes! Legal votes! Legal votes! Legal votes! Legal votes!
Rob from the Unity Bridge, get on up here. You are coming up soon in this speaking rotation. Mr. Rob with the Trump Unity Bridge, get up here. All right, everybody. Next, we got Esther. And Esther is going to play our harmonica song for us and speak to us a little bit. So everybody, please welcome Esther.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. My name is Esther Meyer.
My wife would have thanked you.
Jewish woman. We were not able to vote. And for us to be able to go out and vote is a privilege. I voted for the very first time for Ronald Reagan. I felt very proud to be able to do that. I was raised to be honest. I was raised to have integrity. And I was raised to teach others the same. We all need to be that person that our president needs today. Yes. We were raised without instruments except one small instrument. We had a harmonica. That's all we were allowed to have. And I'm proud to play the national anthem for you today.
At the twilight's last gleaming, but stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare of arms were swinging there, gave proof through the night that our flag
end communism. We're going to have a couple people come up and speak that know about communism firsthand from their country. Please welcome Olivia!
Hey folks, please share this video if you're watching and haven't done so. I appreciate helping to get the word out. Catherine? It is. I'm calling you on my work phone, and my personal phone is streaming video right now. I'm on the Capitol steps right now with the events going on in Lansing. So the best contact would actually be Mark Burley because he was in Cobo Hall. And it sounds like actually a lot of the shenanigans happened after they left. And they would not let people watch the votes come in the night. I'm sorry. We got 45 down. I feel like I'm in the movie 1984 right now. And seriously, you would have been proud of me. I was yelling at Catherine. Thank you, Catherine Henny, when Kevin Skinner was talking. Yeah, that's how I roll. So yeah, I'm streaming the video right now with my other phone. But hold on a second, my hands are shaking just a minute. I had to switch hands. Yeah, so you know, we got Bob Cushman. Are you familiar with Bob Cushman? He was, yeah, he's actually, I would say, the most strongest grassroots voice about what happened in Cobo Hall is Bob Cushman. And you know, he's no guarantee what kind of response you get from him because a lot of Colt 45 stuff. But if I were to tell you, give you advice to try to talk to the best source with the closest personal account, I would go to Bob Cushman. And in truth, I actually, in my video that I'm streaming right now, I videoed his account of what happened in Detroit. So in truth, once I'm done recording, you could fast forward through the video, and maybe I could find where it is within minutes, you know, and point you to it. If you can't talk to him personally.
God bless you all, and God bless America.
Hey, I'm here. You know where I stand on this stuff. You know where I stand on Trump. But
I actually stood downtown Grand Rapids with Paul Mayhew, black activist, one day, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Because we know who each other are, right? I'm like, "Well, I heard that personal rights were infringed upon, and I don't, that's what I'm about." You know what I mean? So, I'm literally about. I'll look for where he is in that video, and let me know if there's anything else we need, okay?
Hello, my fellow Americans. This election is not about Joe Biden or Donald Trump anymore. It's about our democracy, our freedom.
Just so you know, I'm having a hard time hearing. If you don't mind, I'll try calling you back a little bit later. I hope you're not too busy. My Facebook account got deleted a week ago, so my friend requested you and like again. So yeah, I got taken down. So just so you know, okay. Thanks, Catherine, for everything. Hey Brian, this is Lansing, Michigan, at the Capitol. Please share this video. If you guys are listening, if you could comment, this is Lansing, Michigan, I'd be appreciative because this question's been asked.
Stop the steal! 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 Stop the steal!
My dear patriots, you may wonder, we are fighting for America. Then why we stand here holding Trump 2020 sign, holding Trump 2020 flag? Why
a patriot like you are here today. I picked up my friend, and he rode with me for 2 blocks. The Detroit police had told me I couldn't use a speaker after 9 o'clock at night because there's a noise ordinance the day before. The Detroit police had told me the day before there was a warrant for my arrest in Livonia. I called the Livonia court, there was no warrant. I called the city and the police department, went in, there was no warrant.
Liars.
I went and made a left-hand turn on the street near the TCF Center, and I was driving around the area because there was bomb threats for the TCF Center. The police had told me there's bomb threats at the TCF Center. No one was allowed to park near the TCF Center. Alright? There were bomb threats in Detroit. So we moved down to the City Hall. They said there was bomb threats at the City Hall. I had to move the float from there. And then the police officer told me, they don't want you here. Leave downtown. You just got to leave, or we're going to arrest you for your warrant in Livonia. That's what he said. I said, well, sir, there is no warrant in Livonia. So I turned left, going on the corner. I turned my left turn signal on, and I made the turn when the light changed. The police pulled me over. I did what any normal, gave them the respect they deserved and pulled over. They came over, asked me for my driver's license. I said, what did I do? I just turned left. My turn signal was still flashing. He said, you made a right turn without your right turn signal being on. I said, sir, my indicator's still flashing, and I turned left. He goes, you turned right. I turned around, and he looked, he said, oh yeah, you turned left. All right? Then he said, he told the newspaper and the chief of police that I didn't have a plate on the float. We went back. Scott was with me. He had my camera live during this whole thing. Walked the videotape around back, showed my left turn signal blinking and working. He showed the license plate on my vehicle. The official statement for the city of Detroit was that I did not have a license plate, and I had a warrant for my arrest in Livonia, which they switched to Canton. Right? They drove me to Livonia, Michigan. I was in the police car handcuffed. My hand is still numb. I have cuts and bruises on my wrists. I have arthritis. My back and shoulders were hurting real bad. It was horrible. It was horrible. I got the van, we got to Livonia, and Livonia said, there's no warrant for his arrest. We don't want him. So they got on the phone with Detroit police management, and they said, oh, well, he's got a ticket, he can't go there. So they took me to Canton. I drove around with them for hours, handcuffed. They never read me my rights. So was I arrested, or was I kidnapped? You're going to have, if you don't get this vote investigated, if you don't get this vote validated, and you don't get this vote counted properly. I'm just a guy, I drive the Trump Unity Bridge, which is over here in the I've driven to 48 states, over 300,000 miles across America. I've met more people in the past 4 years than I've met in my lifetime. And what I have seen, the Hispanics, the Puerto Ricans, the blacks, the Polish, the Italian, the Germans, all cultures of America, the gays, the LGBT, are uniting behind America first. The messages on the Trump Unity Bridge that we're talking about today are the same messages that were there in 2016 when we elected President Trump together. We did it. We the people. The first message on that float is America first. The second message is one flag, one nation, one God. That's what we believe in for our country. If you want to do something, attend every rally, attend every protest. There's an organization that says, we the people
I'll tell you what,
request an election audit. You as an individual can file a lawsuit to have the audit on the election. We get hundreds and thousands of lawsuits individually. That's right. It doesn't cost that much. Yvonne Black is here. Go to mypurevote@gmail.com. Send her an email. MIPUREvote@gmail.com. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. One other thing I wanted to mention, remember I said there was a bomb threat?
You just quoted Forrest Gump.
The police told us about that. Well, the bomb threat was so serious that those were smart bombs. They allowed public transportation buses to park along the side of the building where the bomb threat was. They allowed public transportation buses to drive through there. They let media that they chose park along the side of the bomb threat, but they wouldn't let the Unity Bridge media, grassroots media park there. They wanted that out of Detroit. They didn't want our message heard. My Second Amendment, my First Amendment was violated, and all of our amendments will be violated and eliminated if we don't stand up. It's as simple as that. That's right. It's that simple. That's the truth. I want you to go out and do something. I want you to get together in a group or community or an individual and file a lawsuit. Call an attorney. Ask them for. There's plenty of attorneys out there that'll help. And some of them may not even charge. They just charge a little bit, but they're working people too. So we got to work together. United, we stand. Divided, we fall. That's right. God bless America. Trump Unity Bridge. Unite America first. Can I have a loud round of applause for our police here today? When I went over to get my signs, the Antifa came over and put padlocks on all the porta-johns. So they locked the porta-johns because they want everybody to take a dump in the streets. That's the way they are. You listen to their mouths, they're potty mouths. They have no manners the way they talk. And that needs to stop. We need better education and better values and better upbringing. God bless you. God bless America. I gotta go. I can talk all day, but we love you.
USA! 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 USA!
Okay, patriots. Remember, if you want to speak, if you have a story about the fraud that you witnessed firsthand, if you are an immigrant that came to America that wants to talk about why we need to hold on, you need to come up and talk to me. I'll get you in the rotation. Come up here. Right now, I'm going to introduce to you guys an 8-year veteran who wants to talk to us about how what's happening in America has global implications. I'm going to introduce you guys to Nathan Hartley. Let's hear it for Nathan.
Is he all right?
Thank you, everybody.
Put that sign down, it'll be all right.
I need to put this in my bag. I was taking
In great importance, and I believe gets overlooked. The Biden crime family is trying to steal this election. Are we going to let that happen? No! Are we Americans? Yes! The spirit of 1776 is awakening. This election does not just affect our great country, it affects the world! There are people from all countries across the world, in Africa, Korea, South America, China, Australia, and Europe. They are watching what we do right now. They need us. So we stand for freedom. Freedom! 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 Oh, we know who our enemy is. And we have revealed on the wrong stage.
Nancy Pelosi!
In this country, we call them Democrats. But we know that they are in all the countries. They are called globalists. That's right. That's right. And right now, the Chinese communists, globalist-backed Democrats, are trying to steal our beautiful country from us. Are we gonna let that happen? That's right. Each and every one of you listening to me right now, us together here, we're not only fighting for our freedom, we're fighting for the freedom of every single person on this planet. If we do not make this happen, it won't happen. Are we going to make it happen? Yes! This is not only for us and the children that are alive right now, but also for their children. For the children of the generations in the future. There are people right now, Bill Gates, George Soros, all of these high-level people who are orchestrating, stealing elections right now. The documentation is out there, and we know what their overall plan is, because this is just the beginning for them. Agenda 2030, people. Let me say, it starts here. If they win here, they're going to get what's called the Great Reset. Look it up, baby. They're going to take this whole thing right to the bottom of the ocean. They want to take the economy. They've already been trying to do it for 4 years. They want to keep on writing it down. They're going to take this country. So we're not going to let that happen. And President Trump, the people's champion, isn't going to let that happen. Are we going to let that happen? No! So my final remarks to you, my beautiful fellow Americans. Be courageous. Be courageous in the face of this darkness, because there are 60 million plus people standing with you. We are united. We are together. Look around you. The spirit of 1776 is alive and well in this country. There are veterans everywhere who are waiting. They are watching. And I have a message to the globalist Chinese Communist Democrats who think that they're trying to get away with this deal, who think that Joe Biden, the Trump family, is going to be the next 46th president. I got a message for you. You're not. And we won't let you. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, we're watching. We're going to see that. We're going to find you. And we're going to let the truth and justice come out. We go.
Okay, guys. Speaking of the spirit of 1776, we have a couple special patriots that are stepping up right now that are going to lead us in some songs. I'd like to introduce you guys to Matthew Wood and Genevieve Peters. Oh, he wants me to tell you guys something, okay? Listen, everybody. I was here at 11 a.m. There was only a handful of us here. BLM and Antifa converged on the square here. There was a little bit of a standoff, okay? There was a little bit of a standoff, but this man here was able to help de-escalate it with song and peace. The situation was de-escalated, and they ended up taking their leave, and actually we're going to bring up in just a moment, one of the guys is hanging out here, hanging out with us. And he's a nice guy. You guys are going to love him. So he's going to come up and talk in a little bit. But here it is. Well, thank you very much. But I didn't sing alone. We all sang together with one voice. And they left because we sang them down.
It's the truth.
I challenged them to a sing-off. I did, and they left.
It was an amazing moment. It's the beginning of my video. Or early part of this video string, if you want to see it after I finish posting this.
And we're going to do it right now. Well, let's start first of all with the Pledge of Allegiance to our great flag. Ready? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our president has announced a new program to bring patriotic education into our schools. And it starts with you. You must learn all of our songs. We have a great tradition and cultural heritage. We've got to make sure our children learn these
songs as well. A very simple song. Many of you sang. Let's sing My Country Tis of Thee. Ready? Begin. My country tis of thee, sweet and the blue. Louder.
Of thee I sing, and where my fathers died, and of a pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
God bless America. But not all of you know this song, so learn these songs. One day we will fill stadiums of us singing together, and America will sing again. God bless America. Land that I love.
And that I love,
Stand beside and guide her.
and guide her
Through the night.
through the night, with the light from above,
From the mountain.
from the mountain
To the prairie.
to the prairie,
To the ocean.
to the ocean,
White with foam.
white with foam.
God bless America.
God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
That's how we can win this hopeful war. I want peace. I know you do too. Let's do peace first. But we know we have backup, right? Glory, glory, hallelujah. 1861, my great-grandfather sang this song for the North. With joy, they marched into battle singing this song.
Against the Democrats.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth goes marching on.
My eyes see the
Glory of the coming of the Lord. He is ready and the victor's ready. His
Lord. And now the time is when it comes. Love and joy. Donald Trump goes
marching on.
Sing it!
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
God bless you all. God bless America. America will sing again, and it started here today.
We come today dressed in colonial wardrobe to remind us of our foundation. The men and women that came before us, our founding fathers, fought and died for the freedom that we have enjoyed for over 245 years. Amen, amen, absolutely. We want every single one of you to know that the people that came before us, that created the foundations of what we call America today, it was the greatest experiment ever began on this earth. It was an experiment for self-representation, for we, the people, to govern ourselves. We are not the victims of social media. We are not the victims of big tech.
No!
We are not the victims of Governor Whitmer.
No!
We the people. We, the people, are the ones that wrote this Constitution. We, the people, are the ones that created this government. for every freedom that we have. This is the beginning. When you stole our votes on November 3rd, you now awoken a sleeping giant. When you stole our votes on November 3rd, you will now see what America is truly made of. When you stole our votes on November 3rd, you also will find out who the President of the United States really is. Our country is founded. Trump, 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 Trump. Our country is founded on our faith in Jesus Christ, our family, our freedom, and our flag, the men and women that fought to allow us to stand here free today and peacefully assemble. You will never, ever be able to surrender our sovereignty by stealing a vote. So, I will end with this, and I speak to each and every one of you, and in your heart, I want you to own your sovereign being in this country. I have been to over 30 countries, and there is no other country with the spirit and patriotism as in America. None. So I will end with this. My fellow Michiganders, my fellow American citizens, the world is watching. Our children are watching. Our nation's youth are watching. If we let this go and we allow big tech and mainstream media to decide who becomes president and steal our vote, it is over.
I disagree. There's pain, but it's not over. I don't yield that.
And what I know about Americans, we will
It's not what we want. It's not. Yeah, there's pain, but.
We are going to keep this thing moving along. I hope everybody likes the format of this. It's we the people speaking today. So what I do need to make a couple announcements, guys. We got a witless governor, and there is a petition here to recall her. Listen, if there was ever a time for you to sign the recall witless petition, it is now. So there's a table set up over there. You can see them over there by the animal tree or whatever it is. They got one out here in the middle too. So every single patriot of voting age, I want you to sign that recall witless petition. Please sign that today, okay? Recall the dictator. America, we do not tolerate tyrants.
So it took one Republican to start impeachment. It's a shame that this petition is happening. I don't object to people doing it. I signed it, but just get your name on a list is what that thing's going to do. It's kind of bad news. Sorry to say it, but
America's going to sing again. It started here today.
Hey, Matthew.
Did you sing?
No, but somebody, I don't know who's doing it.
This is awesome that you come out here and not only represent you and the United States, but we're representing President Trump, right?
take that mask off that poor little boy. Standing here for freedom, looking like that's sad.
I started crying so hard that I couldn't even move. I couldn't even speak. And I asked God who this was that I was praying for. And it was for Donald J. Trump. He's showing me his heart for the people and for the United States of America. And because you know what? I did not.
Yeah, so God bless her for speaking, but I can't only stand so much of that tone for so long. Yeah, so this video has been going for quite a while, and the first part, all of it's pretty solid, but the first part had the BLM that was here. I haven't seen a policeman all day today, and the BLM was right in the middle of it all, and there's a bit of a standoff. If you watch the video, you'll see what happens is Kevin Skinner actually unleashed the mob to go deal with them. I would highly recommend not doing that. It's good for people to go that are prepared to deal with that. What I mean by that is mature in their understanding and mature in their faith, and frankly capable of dealing with that. Fortunately, Adam Hinkle had a megaphone and could, actually speak and start to calm the thing down. And they did sing patriotic songs, and it neutralized the situation. And this is a pretty amazing example of what to do and what not to do. So that's at the beginning of the video. They also had Bob Cushman give his account for what happened in Detroit after the first shift. And that's very instrumental into, what's going on, and how a bunch of votes were pushed through that really weren't vetted. He said there was one point where they said, basically, send the votes, just send them through. And these were votes that came in, it sounds like, within about 24 hours. And there's no way that they could have actually vetted those votes. And so that's really good grounds for an issue. And so it's all really worthy to do. So just a couple of personal notes. If you've been watching this video, you've already heard this already, but I'm very cognizant of, after being a Tea Party leader and doing a lot of educational and prayer and whatever, that we got to be very careful about going into the French Revolution and not American Restoration. The difference between France and us is not that we are a republic, because they're a republic too. And the difference is that we get our rights from God. And so we have to remember that while we support what we feel we need to support on the civic level, whether it be Trump or whatever, we do what we do. But never forget that our true power and authority comes from God. And if we don't do that, then we fall into the same trap as trying to fight BLM and Antifa on their level, and more specifically the devil at his level. That doesn't work that way. We need to be filled full of righteousness and truth and stand on the authority that's been given us through actually Christ's crucifixion, where the victory was actually won. So Christ shed his blood for our bodies, and Jesus shed his blood for our souls. The combination of those two equal America. So just please consider that. And, you know, another thing I was thinking of while I was videoing this is a lot of people really haven't been too fond of me through the years because I've been saying what I just said through the years, and it's really not very popular in today's liberty movement. And I remember years ago, downtown Grand Rapids, going to a situation where a black gal was basically assaulted and not given due process. And it was a big deal. And I went down there, and there was a black Democrat leader, and he knows I was a Tea Party leader. He actually came to our first Tea Party, and we actually let him speak. So he knew me, and he looks over, he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Well, a person's first principles were infringed on, and so, you know, that's what I'm about." And he's like, "Man." And then he said, "Listen, this guy here's here. This is the real deal." You know, so maybe that's an example that you can kind of hang your hat on for about what we do, how we can neutralize our perceived enemies. Because as we saw a lot of minorities speak today, when it comes down to it, we're all human beings and we all have first principles. And so that's where the authority is. But you guys, I appreciate you watching, and it's been a long video. I can't imagine somebody sitting watching the whole thing per se. But okay, so something might be going on here. Hold on a minute. So okay, here comes the BLM again. I'm gonna flip this thing around, okay, and start recording again. So. Okay, so this is where they become a victim and they get sympathy because their voice is being squashed.
Suppression. Black conservative 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 suppression. We support your right to be wrong. Segregation is done. Segregation is done. Segregation is done. Jim Crow jump. 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 Black conservative suppression. 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 Thank you. Black conservative suppression. Black conservative suppression. conservative suppression. Black 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 conservative suppression. You won't need us today. You won't need them today. Black conservative suppression. Black conservative suppression. Black conservative suppression. Black conservative suppression. You won't eat your own race today. You're not going to eat your own race today.
I fucking love you.
You won't eat your own race today. Black conservative suppression.
He's hanging a flag in their face. What a troll.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Black conservative suppression. Black suppression. Corporate lobbyists.
Listen to me. Don't give them what they want. Don't give them what they want. Don't give them what they want. Don't give them what they want.
Let's go. Social distance, please. Social distance.
Oh my goodness.
They don't have. All right, thank you. Let's go back. Let's go back to the rally.
They're not going to.
Brainwashed! Brainwashed! If you're anti-racist, how do you support a racist and a pedophile?
How much she get paid? How much they pay you?
How much they pay you to be here with the media today? Whatever they call themselves. So what?
How much you make? How much you make? They don't want to tell us how much they make. They make money.
Soros, they pay you.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy that First Amendment.
Let
them experience what real freedom feels like. Let them have their First Amendment.
I agree.
This is their right. Because under Biden, we won't have that. AOC went around everybody up out here who are Trump supporters.
Yep.
Who's the real fascist? In one tweet, she showed who the real fascist was.
We don't need to silence them. We don't.
Hey, y'all notice how these mayors are calling the National Guard on y'all now? They're done using you. They're done using you. I'm not trying to get you. They come after the revolutionaries first. Remember that. They come after revolutionaries first. When these politicians are done using y'all and pitting us against each other, they're going to come for y'all first, and then they're going to come for us. Y'all don't realize we all on the same team.
That's right.
If we're not sitting in their seats of power, we don't have a spot at their table. We all getting crumbs out this motherfucker. Wake up.
He's speaking good. He's speaking.
I'm just getting these guys out of here.
His voice was good.
They're still in voices, right? I mean, they're still in both. They're still in voices. They don't care about yours. They don't care about mine either.
You're right. We don't need to silence them.
You are sympathizing with your real oppressor.
Yep.
The African American community is still 13%. I've been hearing that since the 90s. Why is that? They don't need renewed anymore? Why are we still 13%?
Hey, I could get in with that. Fox News sucks. About time. Been waiting over 10 years for that.
Those guys over here that are unaffiliated with like actual Fox News or First Flame,
Yeah.
and those poor guys, I'm like, y'all need to be careful because you guys are in trouble.
I tell you, in 2009 they abandoned us.
Black suppression in Detroit. Black conservative suppression in Detroit. In Detroit.
Talk. No one.
That includes them. They have a right to be here.
It doesn't work. Their own voice is their worst enemy. The more they talk, the worse they sound. Oh yeah, absolutely. If I believe in righteousness and truth, right? That's what I'm here for. I know where they're coming from, and it's not righteousness and truth. So the more they talk, the worse they sound. And if we try to silence them, what happens then is that we actually become the problem.
From Japan.
Oh, thank you.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Do you mind me talking to you?
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity, actually. You mind if I keep videoing?
Sure.
Okay.
Can I have your name, please?
My name is Mark, M-A-R-K, P-E-T-Z-O-L-D.
How can you pronounce your last name?
Petzold. So like pet, and then old, and put a Z in the middle. Petzold.
Can I ask how old you are?
How old am I? I am 51.
And you're from Lansing?
I'm from Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
Where were you this
And what you doing as a living?
As a living, I'm a plastics development engineer. Plastics.
Engineer.
Yeah. Right. I've been in management different things.
You're working for the company? What makes you work here today?
What brings me here? Well, I'm interested in the rule of law. I'm interested in the rule of law. I understand that the key to keeping America civil, or any society civil, is a peaceful transference of power. And if they undermine our electoral process, they undermine civil society.
So you're against Trump supporter?
I am.
Are you a Trump supporter?
You know, it's funny you asked that.
Yeah.
Because see what my hat says?
Oh, my hat.
No.
Oh. Okay, just a second.
Yeah. My hat says "Make America Constitutional Again."
So it is not constitutional at this moment.
No.
Because
because we've allowed bad men to be in position of government. We've allowed it for many years, and actually many decades.
Who are they?
Well,
are you a Trump supporter?
It's an interesting question. Yes, I'm here. I'm supporting him as an elected person that has really, and I'm defending his performance in the election, and so I am. But I got to tell you, I've been a grassroots leader since beginning of '09. Okay, I actually helped start the Tea Parties in Michigan.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I've been here for 10 years doing this. Okay. So
you started Tea Party in Michigan.
Yes, I'm like one of a couple that were instrumental at the very, very beginning. I helped like 11 organizations get started in West Michigan, and we've done a lot of different things, from rallies to we've been involved. We almost took over the government in Michigan a few years ago. Mm-hmm. But you asked the question of when it started, okay? I apologize. Tell me if I need to stop, okay? In 1913, America passed the 16th and 17th Amendment. The 16th Amendment was income tax. So the federal government could take money from me and go directly to the federal. So that gives them authority now, where it used to come from the people more. And they also did the 17th Amendment, where our senators get elected by the people, not the state governments. And the state governments had different. You okay?
All right, sure.
State governments have a different needs than the people do. So what we had is a House of Representatives, and then we had the Senate that also became the House of Representatives. There was no check and balance there, okay? That was in 1913, and it's gotten worse really since then. So we're generations removed from really understanding our role as the people. We don't understand, even this group of people, they're looking for Trump for their salvation. And you ask if I'm a Trump supporter, well, yeah, but I don't look to Trump for my salvation. Jesus Christ gave me my salvation. It is through him that I have authority to stand for righteousness and truth. That's my identity.
So you're a Christian?
Yes. And our Declaration of Independence is the foundation for the Constitution. Our Declaration says that we get our rights from our Creator. So it gives acknowledgement to God. Without that acknowledgement, we're no different than Black Lives Matters or Antifa or anybody else. Then it's just a question of who can yell the loudest and who has the most numbers.
So you're a Trump supporter, but you're not supporting this rally?
I support the rally.
Oh, you support the rally?
I do. What I don't support is I don't support idolatry. I don't support idolatry.
Idolatry, what do you mean?
So our rights come from our Creator. All right? So our Creator is not President Trump.
All right.
Our Creator is not the government. My rights don't come from the government. They don't come from President Trump. They come from God. And so we get it's a really dangerous tipping point between the two. This is one of my sayings I say a lot right now is I don't want a French Revolution because we're borderline revolution right now. I don't want a French Revolution. I want an American restoration.
American restoration?
In 2010, I'll let you finish that thought.
Best news you had all day, huh? Jeez, you guys are idiots.
So you're looking for American restoration?
Yes, not a French Revolution.
What do you mean by that?
So French Revolution were people, they had their revolution the same time we did, in 1776,
They're telling the truth up there, so you can take pictures.
So what their grounds for revolution was what they wanted based on their authority as people. It's not horrible, but it's not right. We did our revolution based on our God-given rights, not on my rights. I mean, it is my rights, but my rights come from God. It's a bigger issue. And see, this is what's important to understand. When Black Lives Matter was here, they were saying, this is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. And they're right. Yeah. Democracy is a mob. It's a ruleless mob. A lawless mob. That's what democracy is. Democracy is no friend of liberty.
Lawless mob? Democracy is
lawless mob. Lawless mob. Democracy is a lawless mob. It is no friend of liberty. Actually, democracy is one of the worst forms of government, if not the worst form of government. Because the multitude will very happily take an individual's rights.
So you're denouncing democracy?
Sure. Absolutely. This is a republic.
All right.
This is a republic. That means that there's a rule of law. And we do have a democracy in our functioning, but we're ultimately a republic, which means we're a nation of law, not of man. France was a nation of man. Okay? And because they didn't acknowledge God and their foundational principles, they've had over 14 constitutions. Okay?
So America is a nation of God. France is nation of people.
Yes, France is a nation of people and their political and their selfish desires, if you will.
Well, in the Constitution, you have to separate religion from the government.
No.
No?
That's one of the lies that's been accepted. Matter of fact, if you think about it, first the Declaration of Independence, the foundation, acknowledges God for the source of our rights. So immediately, before we even get started, faith and religion are commingled. In our very founding principle, it's commingled.
So, could you tell me the reason once more why you are here?
I am here for the rule of law. And I'm here for the rule of law and understanding that there's rights being infringed on. People's property were stolen, and their property is their vote. Donald Trump's election was stolen.
Trump election was stolen.
Sure.
Is that right?
Yeah, I would say so. Until there's enough evidence that shows nefarious activities.
But there is no hard evidence at this time.
Well, the investigation needs to get done, but I would say this is, if you were to say prove me wrong that votes haven't been stolen, you would have a hard time proving me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to accuse something. You have to prove.
Sure.
Something is wrong.
No,
so that's the burden of the proof.
Absolutely.
It's on your side.
I don't.
On Trump's side.
Yes.
Right? So Trump has to prove there's
essentially the Biden
fraud.
campaign is innocent until proven guilty. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
I have no problem with that.
So
Just
Trump
like,
has to find out how the evidence, right?
Sure. There's attorneys that are investigating. There's fellow patriots that were there that saw nefarious activities and can testify to that in court, and will do so. You see what I'm saying? So I am 100% for the rule of law, and if somebody's rights have been infringed on, I am here we're ready to stand and fight, okay? And that's why I'm here.
You're ready to fight?
Sure, absolutely. You know, the trend line is that our future generations are going to pay a very serious price for liberties that are being lost right now.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
What kind of the price they have to pay?
You're going to be, you think about world history and the atrocities of world history. Why should America be spared? Sure. The tolerant, so the devil's a liar and deceiver. Okay, Satan, he lies and deceives. And he works through these entities that are trying to undermine America right now. For example, they say we're tolerant. They aren't tolerant. They just got rid of my Facebook account that I've had 10 years because I was expressing opinions that were not acceptable to them. They are not.
Your Facebook is banned?
Yes, they banned my Facebook last weekend.
Why is that?
Well, they didn't really say. They said they don't have to say, but I know why. Because I've been saying the same things that I'm saying to you. And truthfully, as much as people say if you support Trump, then you're going to get banned, to be honest with you, it's far worse to stand against the evil that's at play right now. And that's what my focus is on. I don't allow my focus to get watered down by based off of a man or whatever. So I was standing against what I call the spirit of the age. There's a spirit of the age that's happening right now. It's in the form of masks. It's in the form of stealing votes. And it's in the form of these notions that the people call them the left. There's a lot of different words, but I was going to tell you about the devil being a liar and deceiver. They say they're tolerant. They are not tolerant. They say they want to coexist. They don't want to coexist. They want us gone. I don't want them gone. These guys that are here, I say give them a voice. I'm not saying stifle them. I am not like that. Sure. Yep.
You don't believe Trump is the return of Jesus Christ? Some people do that. As a Trump in the
You asked me about idolatry. Idolatry. You know, I mentioned idolatry, and you asked for me to explain that further. You just did a really good job explaining what oh, absolutely. You know, one of the things, again, I was a Tea Party leader, right? One of the things I'm very sensitive about is what our identity is as Americans and frankly as children of God. Okay? You have to really guard your heart when it comes to giving a man more authority than what he has, okay? People say God put Trump in power. And so, yeah, maybe, but God works through us. It's our actions that did it. So a lot of times when people say God put Trump in power, they're distancing themselves from responsibility for it. No, you know,
You put the Trump in power.
Exactly.
Through God.
Through God. Because God did what? He gave us our principles, life, liberty, and property, as outlined in the Declaration of Independence. Our rights come from our Creator, and their life, liberty, and property, or pursuit of happiness is what the Declaration says. He gave us those rights. We outsource those rights when we elect people. Okay? We outsource our rights. Trump is fighting, but he's fighting on our behalf. We outsourced our fight to him. You get it? So, sure, there's a degree of respect for the effort that he's put in honoring that. I don't diminish that at all. But I'm just saying that his rights, government gets its authority from our consent. From our consent. And we consent to him being president.
All right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
If you keep questioning legitimacy of the election,
yes,
does it put democracy in danger?
In what way?
If you keep questioning elections, election might be rigged or stolen.
Okay.
You're going to put the democracy in danger?
Yeah.
You don't mind that?
I do mind that. I've been close to the militia.
Is that right?
Sure. I actually qualified as a rifleman years ago. Yeah. I'm
You're not armed. Are you? Can I take a look at that?
Sure.
What's up the gun is that?
It's a 38 special.
38 special.
Yeah. And I've helped people earn their concealed pistol license and stuff.
So it's you legally carry the gun in Michigan, right?
I am. And truthfully, in Michigan, you can open carry without having a CPL, but there's a thing called pretended legislation. Pretended legislation, that's legislation that doesn't have a true basis in law. And all these, the Second Amendment says the right, essentially our right to defend ourselves shall not be infringed, okay? It's very simple. There's not a lot of gray area. So all these different laws are actually an infringement on our Second Amendment rights. But you're asking about the Democrats being at risk, if you will.
Democracy.
Well, democracy is definitely, our republic is at risk. This fight that's going on is a fight to maintain order regarding the transference of power. And if we lose that, we are in a really bad situation. Now,
so you're saying that Trump shouldn't transfer power to the Biden?
Trump should insist on the rule of law, just the same as what I'm doing right now. And to my knowledge,
if Trump follows the law, that means Trump is the president in the next Trump, right?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
What I'm asking him to do is what I'm doing right now, okay? Is upholding the law. What he should do, and what I believe he is doing, is he's saying you need to make sure that the votes were counted and legal votes are counted. There's nothing wrong with that. Anybody that says there's an issue with legal votes being counted, so what's your problem, right? But if there's been nefarious activities where there's over 100,000 votes getting dropped overnight and they're all for Biden, that needs to be investigated.
Is that true? Many people tell me that same story, but I didn't get the news from the news.
Yeah, it has to be investigated thoroughly.
Okay.
The rule. Things can go crazy. I am all about the truth.
Yeah.
If more people voted for Biden, and if Biden got the Electoral College vote, and he did so fairly, I may not like it. I don't want him to be president.
But you're for the truth.
I'm for the truth. I'm what's called an always truther. People say people claim to be a Trumper or a never Trumper. I'm an always truther. I want the truth. And
is that possible to get phone number and to keep the conversation later?
Absolutely, I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest with you,
it's very interesting, but it's not a good place.
It's
not the best place to.
No.
Have a deep conversation.
It is kind of a deep conversation,
right.
Except for the Declaration. That's simple. Right. Our rights come from our Creator. But 616-291-7626. 7961.
9.
Yep. Yep. I'd be honored to talk to you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Do you mind taking a picture?
Oh, please do. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. This is what I'm saying. It's like it's a burden because you got to get it out. Because there's people that are lost and they don't hear it. And I don't care if you're in Japan or if you're in America. You're still a human being created by a creator.
Is that possible you could show me the gun?
Oh,
You could carry the gun like that?
yeah.
All right.
Is that good?
Thank you so much.
You see my shirt?
Yeah, I took that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Blessings to you, man.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how you doing?
Roy Bennett, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember, yeah.
I moved.
Did you?
Yeah, well, both of us used to be in the 16th County Commission.
Oh, yeah,
district.
sure. Yeah.
In fact, they asked me to run, and I moved to Lowell, so I'm like, I can't because I'm moving. So they did find somebody. I think Zylstra won, though, didn't he? Zylstra.
The 16th?
In the state rep against Rachel Hart. Is that the last you heard? Or no?
I didn't follow that one that close, to be honest with you.
Well, I know you don't belong to my party anymore, which is fine.
I'm an American.
Yeah,
you're an American,
that's right?
That's right. I'm all one of the Constitution Party's principles is we support good governance.
Right, exactly.
And I'm interested in good governance.
Right. That's like me. I think the world of Lisa Lyons, and I'm glad Pete is in as treasurer now because he's a well-founded understanding of how things work. Pay in, pay out. That's
sure,
what we need
sure.
as a treasurer.
I hope so.
I hope so because I am concerned about our county commission spending money. They seem to think, well, it's coming in, we should spend it.
It's Christmas.
In the past, we had county commissioners and treasurers in Kent County. They didn't like to spend money, which is fine by us taxpayers.
Right.
Save it,
If you don't need to spend it, don't.
No, we don't need to spend it if it doesn't need to be spent. So.
Yeah. Fiscal responsibility, what a crazy notion nowadays.
Yeah, well,
isn't it?
It's becoming crazier too because this kind of thing happening. I mean, it's outrageous that
we're in a world of hurt.
We have to put up with this, but I mean, you've lived a long time and I have lived a long time.
Yeah.
We've seen this go on. I mean, our parents and grandparents experienced the Depression and World War II.
Yep.
They had something to deal with, and we've been, playing the easy road, and then they played politics with this COVID-19 disease on us.
Yeah.
And it's this is what we in our generation have to deal with as far as
I'm surprised other people didn't see that coming. And I'm really honestly disappointed with we the people, our lack of pressure on the Republicans.
Well, this whole statist bureaucracy, we had people like W. and George H. Walker. They were not doing nothing. I mean,
I became a Tea Partier because of Bush. I became a Tea Partier because of Bush, not because of Obama. Yeah.
Right, I understand. I mean, but I stand there thinking, okay, it's a roller coaster ride because what happened to me and Justin Amash is another example of.
Yep.
But in my mind, you and I have to hold Pete Meyer's feet to the fire.
Yeah.
We have to have conversations with him about, like we just talked, financial accountability in federal government.
I don't believe we have a microphone with Pete Myers, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, if I see him and I know there's legislation coming up, I'm having a conversation.
If we got something to say, absolutely.
Because
we should never stop. We should never stop.
I did the same thing with Justin Amash. I knew him personally. I know Mark Pretzel,
Yeah.
I could walk up to him.
Sure.
And I know my state reps here in, this little state house.
Yeah.
And I can have a conversation with them. And I'm so glad now I have Tom Albert as my rep living in Lowell.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah, I
Good.
think it's great.
Yeah,
It's good to see you here.
Yeah, likely. I say I don't know if you heard me speaking to that Japanese reporter.
Yeah.
But literally, I was reflecting back to standing in the black area of Grand Rapids,
Right.
toe to toe with Paul Mayhew.
Right.
A black.
You know what
leader.
else is happening? A lot of the Detroit minorities have moved to Grand Rapids, and that kind of mentality that's gone on in Southern Michigan is now happening in our little neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the school systems don't help. That's
Well,
the other thing.
the stuff that we're seeing in Grand Rapids, you see, it's really. I mean, there might be minorities involved, but it's not. It's the spirit of the age.
They're just
It's not.
experimenting, and it's like
People got to understand that it's the spirit of the age.
it is.
Again, the Democrats are in effect. They are not the source. The source is it's honestly just simply good versus evil.
Yeah.
And I try to get the point across, and it's hard to do, that the right-left paradigm is a false paradigm.
I had to change churches for the very issue.
What do you do?
Huh? Because I went to Alton Bible Church. The people don't wear masks, and we all understand, accountability and what Scripture says.
Yeah, navigating the situation.
And far as what's the state government saying? Because the other church, they're just caving to we got to go this way. No, you don't. That's the wrong direction. The school system's going that way. The higher education's going the wrong way. You just don't follow that crowd.
Well, the major source of our problem is the fact that the church has not been filling its role for many years and generations, actually.
In being a history major, I understand in Germany what the problem of the German Protestant church was.
Sure, absolutely.
They bought Hitler's all along the line. And our church, in our culture now, is just going along with the deceitfulness. I mean, they come up with excuses about pro-life.
Yeah.
I'm like...
It's amazing what you can dismiss under the guise of righteousness or tolerance or whatever.
Right,
yeah. That's what I've said a dozen times a day. I want American Restoration, not French Revolution. We can slip into that mode, that very mode that you're talking about. Even though we're here espousing for righteousness and truth, we can slip into become the problem. And actually, like with these guys here that were, the black light trying to get a voice, and they were doing so, and they always will.
Right. They get the media.
But we become the problem when we try to silence them and act like them.
Right.
In truth, we should just let them talk. And as a matter of fact, they should be up there. Invite them up there and let them speak.
Well, and the media does not listen to what's going on up there.
No.
They just talk to us.
That's why I've been doing this Facebook Live video for God knows how many hours. I'm surprised my backup battery's still holding in there.
Right.
But it's an interesting thing. Yeah, so my Facebook account got deleted a week ago, so I went from 5,000 friends to 150 friends or whatever.
I thought I was still your friend, because I like to listen to what... I got more organizations on Facebook now than I have actual people that are, they're just not on there talking about their personal life anymore, which is fine. I have relatives that are talking about their personal life, which is why I got on in the first place. But these organizations... to actually espouse what I believe, I want to listen to,
Sure. Yeah, and it's all about a dialogue, right?
Right, it is.
And a true dialogue, and so I appreciate you staying in there. And
I learned something from my lady that I had the title insurance company. She says, you listen to conspiracy, she says, because I was talking about different organizations that I'm reading and listening to.
Right.
Oh, listening to the news media, that's the news.
Right.
What we investigate and read and learn from, that's conspiracy.
Right. It's a
steal the vote is an example.
Yeah.
That's conspiracy.
Yeah.
They're not going to,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Take a water.
We're donating 25% today to Trump's legal campaign to fight
Oh, cool.
fraud.
I'll take a water if I have $1. Hold on.
I'll take a cookie too.
Thanks for hanging in there, buying some water.
Oh, okay. I'll keep piling that on here.
You said $1?
Yeah, $1 for the water. Oh, I get 2 of them. No wonder it's $3.
Is it hard for change? Okay.
Change right there for you. Are you guys from around here or something? That's why. Why do I know you guys from Granville?
Hold on. Sorry about that, folks.
I live in Lowell. Lowell? Okay. Oh, cool. Same county. Yeah. Right. Well, maybe. Unless you're Ottawa County guys. No, we're not. Okay. Good to see you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you bet. It was interesting, that Japanese guy wanting to see my gun.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not pulling it out of the holster.
In a global understanding, you know, that is one of our founders' rights. And in Japan, in Europe, in
well, you know the history, right? We're not invading America. There's a gun behind every blade of grass. Hey, I'm not even standing behind grass, and here's a gun.
Right. I spent a year in the service in Korea, so I understand.
Thank you for your service.
They loved us. And they still, the South Koreans understand, and I think to some extent, you know, what Trump has done as far as talking to the North Korean president, he could come around if he understands, you know, economic principles.
I say the message of righteousness and truth will prevail.
Right.
You just keep hitting. We haven't had that for so long.
Right.
When I've been saying the Republicans should impeach Whitmer, they say, well, we don't have the votes. You don't understand. All they do is her poll numbers go up. I'm like, it hasn't been done. You don't have an understanding of the situation, and you are actually making an appeal to the people, not to the other representatives. You tell the people to go get on the representatives.
Well,
that's what they should do.
On the proposals, I voted no, because in my mind, decisions like that, it's up to the legislature. It's not up to Johnny Public. Why am I making decisions on what the money goes for the DNR?
That's a democracy then, right? Majority rules?
Right. Well,
yeah,
no,
we aren't that.
I'm a Republican. I want my legislature
I know,
to
but
do
I'm agreeing with your point. That a ballot initiative is essentially a step towards democracy.
Right.
And not a republic.
Not a republic.
These guys got a job to do, and they haven't been doing it.
No.
And they better not be legislating the statewide mask mandate that Whitmer's telling them to do.
Oh, no.
It's disgusting to me that these guys, they haven't fought the fight this whole time period. And they've been, people said we were in there on April 30th, and they said, oh, the Republicans stopped them. No, they didn't. They ran out of time. They wanted to do the same thing. You know, they should be more afraid of us than they are of their party leadership and everything else. But if we swallow our tongue, if we're afraid to actually put pressure on them, then they won't be afraid, and they don't need to be afraid.
Well, the other thing now is they're going to change party leadership for the reps too, and that's the downside of term limits. It's changing leadership, and I hope it gets better. And this guy has more fortitude to, like you're saying, you know, actually legislate, you know, some law and order here.
Yeah, law and order.
Because this is an example of lawlessness, stealing the vote.
Yeah.
That legislator, where are you as far as looking and making sure they're not even a part of this protest? They're
they're gone.
Home,
they're gone.
You know,
yeah.
Taking it easy.
It's you know, one way I cleared out my friends list when I was always right around 5,000, won't let you have more than 5, is I'd make a comment about, I'm not a fan of term limits. It's like, what? Term limits. I'm like, no, that is election welfare. And honestly, there's so many people that don't vote. If that's what we get is repeated them, then shame on us.
Right.
And we have a job to do just like they have a job to do. And our job is to get rid of them if they don't do their job. You can't, there's a saying, you can't legislate morality. Well, you know, when you try to do it like this, like an example is legislating through morality by putting term limits in, it has unintended consequences. And one of those unintended consequences is us losing our fight because we're depending on the system to fight for us when we have a job to do. And it gets complicated, but I hope that
You know, it's actually not complicated if you allow yourself to think about what I'm saying.
Right.
And I tell you,
rational, logical, and work within the founder's system, and using the bureaucracy as part of the problem.
Right.
We're depending on our Secretary of State. Well, no.
Yeah.
Legislators make sure the Secretary of State's doing her job. That's the legislators' Attorney General. It's your job to have law and order.
Right.
Legislators make sure.
Yeah.
They talk about oversight. Yes, have some oversight.
There's just absolutely no substitute for having an engaged, moral, educated people.
Right.
There's no substitute. I think Trump has, over the last 4 years, has helped in the way that there's been a need for the development of the people for 4 years. It takes time to develop the populace to actually be filling the role that they need to fill in a free society. We've been losing it for generations. We're looking to get it back in years, weeks, months, days even. And it's a tall order. But, on the plus side, Americanism, actually just like our salvation, is very simple. Our rights come from our Creator. The government's here to protect our God-given right to life, liberty, and property. If they quit doing it, it's our job to alter or abolish it and institute new that's most likely to affect a peaceful society.
Right.
That's very simple. It's not that complicated.
No, it's not. But it becomes complicated because people become complacent, apathetic, and dependent. And it drives me crazy when people, they want some kind of help, and right away they run to the government. They should run to my church congregation
Amen.
and ask me for some help.
Yeah.
Don't run to Kent County or
whatever,
Lansing, Michigan.
A bailout of sorts or whatever.
You come to the private organizations that have the wherewithal to have funds to give you assistance when you need it.
That's part of our identity that's been lost is charity.
Yes, charity.
And taking care of one another. That's part of our identity that, frankly, in a free country, we would have to be far more. We are our brother's keeper, just not in the Clinton, mindset. But we are our brother's keeper. We should take care of one another. And frankly, giving you money may not be what you need.
No, exactly.
And so anyway, that's just part. It's just part of the deal, right?
You may need an intervention to get off of whatever you're addicted to.
And I would say more often than not, yes, money is not the solution. Even if you're having a hard time budgeting, and you're just you're good in every respect, but you can't budget if your life depended on it.
And that's where personal, private, talk to each other about budgeting.
Absolutely.
Don't just I can't do it, and I'm going to run to my bureaucracy. No, we can help. You ask for help, we can help, and we can make you have responsibility economically.
And I would say that's extremely true, and just getting that kind of a mindset. And I guess one of our identities, I talked about charity as being one, but I'm going to say we should have a spirit of defense about our freedoms. Mm-hmm. And when the government, we should be very concerned when the government is here to help, instead of running to it for help. As soon as they do, here's this mask mandate that will save 2.2 million people. I don't care if it's Donald Trump saying it. We should say, whoa, hold on. You're going to start needing to explain a lot because you're freaking me out right now. I always say I have my physical condition is a common sense common sense paranoia. That's what it was, common sense paranoia. And I say our founders had common sense paranoia. That's why they created a constitution that limited government, not empowered it. So I am proud to say I have common sense paranoia. It's not an embarrassment. This is a badge of honor because I'm frankly not an idiot then. You're an idiot if you think you're going to go to them. If you think you're going to go to them and they have your best interest in mind.
You bring all this up and you bring up the fact that what Trump has been doing to try to have people understand that he is trustworthy. And in my mind, it's like a roller coaster ride within the political system, because I concede the point, okay, you want to help somebody, I'm allowing you to help. I know that, in the state of Michigan, we have to have a balanced budget every year.
Right.
So obviously, they are helping people, they're helping organizations, and they're maintaining their budget. Okay.
Right.
We could back off on some of these administrations for, let's not help this organization, let's direct them to find other sources of funding.
Yeah, right.
And that's possible.
Yep.
And see, in the that's why you have to look at the long haul, you know?
Absolutely.
You can't, the short term, people come and go.
We got to quit thinking in terms of 2 and 4 year election cycles and start thinking about generational cycles. And what I mean by that is, well, we need to educate ourselves, but we need to educate our families. I'm a huge advocate. If I could do anything, I would encourage fathers of their household to take a family night and say, we are going to, as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord, and we're going to do that by equipping ourselves to be effective in this arena. So if somebody with good intentions tells the mob to go deal with the mob, we're prepared to help put it down instead of acting like they're acting. We have to understand human nature. We have to understand our frailties and why we need to be reliant on God, and why we frankly need to be God-fearing people, because we got to understand we in a blink of an eye we can be retarded, not to put too much of it.
I mean, it's like, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't.
You said about the long haul. Do you realize Franklin Delano Roosevelt had the long haul? He did something to this country that we're still reaping the responsibility of.
Right.
It was bigger government.
Right.
And he had the long haul.
Right.
The American public stopped it after him.
Yeah.
But if we could get a leader in there with the long haul to say,
go
back to the Constitution.
Yes, absolutely.
And the long haul will be limited government.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I really wish Trump would have done, and maybe he still will do, but would bring, when Congress isn't doing their job, quit using Congress as an excuse to not do their job. Like back in the day when Obamacare was being on, and frankly, Trump was attacking the Freedom Caucus. People don't remember that, but I digress. If what Trump would have done is partnered with the Freedom Caucus and said, okay, so here's the list of people, these congressmen that repealed Obamacare 50 times when they weren't in power, these people, this is their contact. This is where their offices are at. This is their phone numbers. It's on you now, American people. I'm petitioning you to fix this problem in Congress. Why don't you go give your congressman a backbone and let them know that they have a job to do, and it's to do the right thing? Oh my gosh. Trump with his microphone could have done more than millions of Mark Petzolds.
Well, the sad part was this election was all about health care.
Oh yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he's guilty.
I have private insurance.
Yeah.
And I'm now 65 years old. I have Medicare.
Right.
I don't need whatever you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, thank you, but
and
no
I
thank
don't
you.
need you to make an argument about pre-existing conditions on every candidate here. It's it's nonsense.
Yeah, it's very monkey dribble, but again, if we don't, as a people, understand that, what do you want to do, government?
Right.
And understand that our human nature is one to kind of take the bait. It's one of my challenges, actually, being involved as a Tea Party leader in the Republican Party for many years, is the fact that Republicans, honestly, have no problems with welfare when it's corporate welfare and it stands to benefit them and jobs and stuff like that. You cannot go in this arena and be hypocritical. You can't do it. It doesn't work. Believe me, your kids will see you. Their kids will watch you. And they may not understand what it is, but in their heart, they'll sense the hypocrisy. Again, we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. And so if you realize that you're empowering the wrong powers and principalities when you take the weapons and the dialogue of the enemy and you go to war, it's not good.
No.
It doesn't work out. That's why I'm just like, we got to guard our hearts during this time.
We do.
Yeah.
We really do. It's about our individual lives are the most important in our relationship to Jesus Christ.
It is.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And our involvement in other things is second to that.
You know, how many pastors won't go? I mean, this is one of my pet peeves through the years. Pastors would say, I don't get in politics because I'm just interested in souls. And I'm like, oh, get behind me, Satan, because I reject that. What we're doing here is the crossroads of who we are, what we believe, and it is the very raw starting point of going into culture and civics. If this isn't a place for the church, where does the church need to be? Then to be here. And believe me, if people are looking to the wrong savior, I think there's a soul to be saved, if you know what I'm saying. It's absolutely astounding that people have a hard time seeing it. I think they're seeing it now.
Twice at this rally, we said the Lord's Prayer.
Right.
There's something about this crowd knowing who Jesus Christ is as their personal Savior when they say the Lord's Prayer twice in a rally.
Well, I believe what we do as believers, what we loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. What is bound on earth will be bound on heaven. And on earth as it is in heaven. We have so much authority, so much more than the numbers. Granted, I love seeing multitudes of people out. It is encouraging. It's intoxicating. I love it. But as much as that is, the true authority comes from the heavenlies. Gideon's army, David and Goliath. The American Revolution. This is in our own heritage, people. We should not... The fact that we're not on the side of the majority of people that are currently active and all that, we should just acknowledge that, okay, this is about normal. This is how it rolls. If anything happens extremely good, God will get the glory for it. Expect it. Count on it. Expect miracles. I mean, good grief. We got to get this mindset. I guess I call it.
We do because like World War II, we overcame a world war on two fronts. In my mind, it was because God was a part of that battle, and it wasn't us and our human effort. We were like struggling along.
Another seemingly insurmountable circumstance.
Right.
I love throwing that word seemingly in there because that is our earthly eyes. That is our earthly vision. It's seemingly because God has already won the victory. It's incumbent on us to stand on that victory and, understand his ways aren't our ways. I mean, there's a lot of persecution in the Bible, people. It's not all flowers and unicorns and rainbows and all that, as far as just from our earthly being. But you know what's kind of strange is, and this has always amazed me, and I don't even necessarily like it, to be honest with you, that like the apostles, when they were being persecuted, was when they were the closest to God, and that's when they were the happiest. That's when the most miracles were being seen. And I don't want persecution. I don't want it for me, and I certainly don't want it for my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. I don't. We don't need to have persecution. But if it comes, we can rise above it.
Well, it's good talking to you, Mark.
Yeah, it is too. I'll say you again.
I'm Roy Bennett, and I appreciate this message.
Thanks, Roy.
I'm such a politician.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. Take care. Well, everybody, let's see. There's 8 people left. It's interesting. I always think the people that are watching need to be watching. So hopefully you got something out of all this, and appreciate those that maybe stuck with me the whole day. I appreciate it very much. And there's a lot that's happened at the beginning of this video, and please feel free to go back, and please feel free to share this. We are the media now. I don't know how long my Facebook account's going to last before it gets banned again, but it's worth a shot. All right. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, and God help us restore America. Thanks. Mark Petzold signing off.